Another sunny day, although the wind gusts have been harsh at times anyways. I don't think it'll affect things too much. And with that in mind, what did I read today? In terms of harsh, I guess conflict around the world still again. This one here says, Yemen says it downed another US MQ-9 drone in 24 hours. Does that mean there's going to be huge retaliations? It says Yemen's Ansarallah group said on Saturday it shot down another US-made MQ-9 drone over Sana'a province in the past 24 hours, Xinhua reported. The drone was shot down using a locally manufactured surface-to-air missile. Yemen's military spokesperson Yahya Sari said in a statement aired by Houthi-run Al Masirah TV. This is the second drone our air defenses has successfully shot down in 24 hours and the 21st we had down since November 2023, he said. According to Al Masirah TV, a video footage of the drone will be broadcast later in the day. Sari affirmed the group's support for Palestinians, saying its operations will continue until the Israeli aggression on Gaza stops and the siege on it is lifted. On Friday, Sari claimed the Houthi group shot down the US MQ-9 drone, the 20th it had down since November 2023. The US side has not commented on the Houthi claims yet. Again, I could imagine there's going to be retaliations of sort, huh? And when I thought there was more people emphasizing how people were using drones, let's just say during protests, but not, for example, just to capture the scene or anything, actually using it to hopefully cause some kind of, I guess you could say, disturbance in the area. Like there was this news popping up again, which happened a while ago, where people were flying around drones carrying the Palestinian flag over sporting events. And why this kind of gets you to think is because, like here, for example, as you know, in Canada, they recently introduced those laws where if you're flying around a quote advertised event, then you need to pay money for things like SFOCs, and that should theoretically mean things like protest too, because a lot of them are advertised. But when you think about it, in a lot of cases, when people do protests, blocking traffic and so forth, aren't they, quote, breaking the law? So how does that work, where if a protester is already breaking the law in that sense, and a lot of times people, they actually accommodate them to, quote, break the law, like they don't actually pay for any kind of licensing fee or anything like that, correct? So what happens if they fly a drone in that case? Would they actually be punished in that way because they, quote, illegally flew a drone in an advertised event, even though they're protesting and it's not really, I guess, sanctioned in a lot of cases anyways, if you think about it? So even though, let's just say, it's written a certain way, would the authorities just consider that as, okay, they're just, quote, protesting anyways because they're part of that thing, for example? But that is a serious issue though, as a lot of people, and let's just say authority figures, do want to stop people from capturing things just because they don't like it, versus that's not the law or there's nothing dangerous about it. And here was kind of a good example again, I guess, in recent times, where apparently, I guess, there was a protest recently on Good Friday, I believe actually is related to the Palestine stuff again too, correct? And in this case, it seems like somebody was out there filming around Toronto just with like a regular camera, and then the security guy goes up to him telling him he's not allowed to like film there, for example. He needs permission, even though it looked like he was assaulted actually by the looks of it.
Hey, get away from me! Get away from me! What do you need to speak to me about?
Please hold on.
What do you need to speak to me about?
About your business here. Right?
My business here is taking pictures of a public event.
Are you allowed to do that?
Of course I am.
Do you have a permit to...
A permit to take pictures?
Yes, you're on our property, right? Wondering if you have the...
A permit to take a photo on City Hall property?
No, of the protest itself, right?
Yeah.
So this has been approved, but we were wondering if you've been approved to take pictures of what's going on
To
here.
take pictures in public. Do you see all the people taking pictures here? So what's the story?
All right, so I spoke to our desk, and so it's my mistake. So sorry about what I said earlier, that you are allowed to film and take photos and whatnot.
So to me, that's a big issue, as it looked like that guy was attacked basically by that person. The security guard didn't go after him, and essentially making up laws, or he was just ignorant on how the guy's not allowed to film there without permission, which isn't the case. It's open public in that sense. But you can imagine now, like things with the micro drone laws, imagine that. So people could just weaponize it because they have like a quote technical excuse now to stop people from filming it in general. I mean, in my opinion, it's not right, and it's just one of those things where people are going to overlook it overall because, again, the topic is so niche, especially like with things like drones. And in other news, in terms of, I guess, tech-related stuff, apparently in Beijing, they had a half marathon event where there were actually humanoid robots running. Like you can see all these posts, like this one says what? Beijing Humanoid Robots Half Marathon kicked off on Saturday, marking the first time in the world that robotic and human participants run along the same route on separate tracks. So by the looks of it, everyone had various types of robots, some small, some big, and you can see people with remote controls in a lot of cases. I guess just doing this marathon is more of a novelty, I suppose, in terms of showing it off versus an actual contest of sort, because I don't see how that would be possible anyways. Robots against humans overall. I think the only thing that comes to mind in terms of, let's just say, robots and competitions that I've seen before that kind of caught a little bit of attention but kind of died down is that one where they made robots and the robots actually fought each other, and whichever one gets knocked out, I guess, loses. I guess we're not too far away, I guess, in terms of that, huh? We're gonna start seeing MMA robots instead. Would you actually pay money to see that? All right, see you guys later.